BarCampHouston3.com.
Talk about social media. Obviously, it's been around for a while, still not maybe at the critical mass yet, but where are we right now?
Where are we with social media? I think it's still pretty early. I think people are still trying to figure out how to use it from a business, personal networking, marketing perspective. I think there's still a lot of more questions than answers at this stage. I think there's anecdotally a lot of great success stories, but most marketers, most individuals are still trying to figure out, how do we fit this into our overall, what we do day in, day out, whether it's for personal or for business. Mostly on the business side, I think it's where the bigger challenges are still, trying to be worked out.
Definitely, it's growing in the sense it's beyond the college world, beyond the youth, that now there are actually older people online with the social media.
Right. What I think is really interesting is there's a big, I think, difference in perception about what you use. Like Facebook is a great example. Like, so many people have Facebook profiles now. It's rivaling MySpace in terms of number of profiles, number of users, and it gets used a lot more than MySpace. And a lot of the growth is coming from the over 30 crowd. But most of those people who are putting on over 30 think of it in the context of not just social but business as well, because they look at it as a way to connect with people based on what they do professionally. The under 30 crowd tends to still think of it mostly social. So you have a lot of people on there who think of it, well, this is a public place where people can learn more about me, people I might want to do business with or connect with that way. Whereas I think the under 30 crowd tends to still think it's a place where I can connect and put all my pictures up with me at the last party and all that stuff. So there's a bit of a disconnect, I think, in terms of what we all want it to be and how do we use it for things like Facebook. I think Twitter's an interesting platform as well, and that's still really challenging to figure out how to use that from a business standpoint. It's great for staying in touch with people and letting them know what you're up to and keeping your finger on the pulse of what's going on with your friends, but it's hard to figure out as a marketer, and that's why I always think about it from a marketing or advertising standpoint, is how to use it really to engage and interact and cause some event to take place that actually creates value for your business. So it's still challenging.
What are the predictions you think? I mean, do you think we will see the business applications for social media coming up in the next 2 years?
Yeah. Well, there's some out there. I think LinkedIn one is a great business platform for social media application. I mean, it's from a recruiting standpoint, from a networking standpoint, from a business development standpoint. LinkedIn is a great platform. I think Facebook has become increasingly important because it's a place where like a company can create its own brand page, and that can be like the fun side of the company, that it really is expressive of its culture and its people. That's things you may not put on the corporate site that you can put on there. You obviously want it to be something, again, that if a client or a partner looks at, they're okay with it, but it's a way that you can kind of be more expressive than you might in your corporate site. So from that standpoint, it's very valuable. I also head up the Houston Interactive Marketing Association, which we use Facebook. It's an incredibly important platform for us because it allows us to stay in touch with all the people that opt in to receive information from us. We have more Facebook members than we have paying dues members, so which is great, but it's also an opportunity for us to get more paid members. But it is becoming increasingly where people go to find out what's going on is our Facebook profile, much more so than just relying on the emails that we send them. So I think we're still trying to figure it out, but the predictions are it is increasingly important because discussions are taking place about your brand, and some are good, some are bad. They're going to take place whether you're involved or not, but if you get involved with it, at least you can help shape the outcomes. And I think that's what some forward-thinking, smart brands are doing these days, is saying, we don't have to host the discussion on our site, but we need to be involved in that discussion. I think Continental is a great example Continental Airlines is a great example of someone that said, hey, we need to be part of these discussions. They have someone assigned whose job is just to participate in these dialogues that are going on there. Some are positive, some are negative, but at least they're involved in that discussion.
Speaking of brands, talk about what's going on at Spur Interactive.
Spur Interactive, we just rebranded. Thanks for the opportunity to discuss that. I think we've figured out what we're really good at. It's really helping clients figure out strategically what should we do, how do we do it, how do we measure it, and then actually go implement those strategies for them. So we've had it's been a lot of fun transitioning from more kind of a la carte services, like we do search, we did email, we'll do display campaigns or media planning, but really getting away from, what do you want, we do it, to really position ourselves as more strategic partners, advisors, and implementers of strategies. And that's how we can help clients the most, is figuring out how to use search, how to use social, how to use display advertising, how to use direct email communications, how do you make sure that your site is optimized to convert visitors to customers, and then how do you measure all that stuff and figure out how it's creating value for your business. So it's really more of an integrated, holistic approach, and that's really what was the genesis behind rebranding, repositioning the company. But so far, so good.
On the lighter side, you just came off Lemonade Day. Talk about that and what's going to happen. What is it and what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lemonade Day is something that, for those who aren't aware of it, Prepared for Life is a nonprofit organization that has after-school programs for at-risk youth in HISD schools. And Lemonade Day was really the idea of the founder of the organization, Michael Holdhouse, and his wife, as an experiential way to teach kids about entrepreneurship. Lemonade stands are generally one of the first businesses most of us have. We're either mowing lawns or we're selling lemonade as kids. And so it's something I think most Americans can connect to, and it's kind of, there's something, heartwarming about seeing an 8-year-old kid out there selling lemonade, trying to earn some money, in an honest way, developing sales skills, developing customer service skills, learning to plan, learning to organize, learning to what are the things you have to do to start a business. So the idea behind Lemonade Day was, let's have a fundraiser that's experiential and has some lasting implications versus just another black tie gala. So it really serves two purposes. Originally, the main purpose was raise money for Prepared for Life, as well as being experiential, but it's kind of flipped now, where now we're realizing P4L's, one of the most important things it does is touch tens of thousands of kids. Last year we had 11,000 lemonade stands across the city of Houston on May 8th of this year, and it was amazing to drive around seeing these kids selling lemonade because their mom had heard about it through their school or through their church or through another civic organization. It's very collaborative. We work with Junior Achievement, Big Brothers, Boys and Girls Club, all of the Scouts, everybody here, because it is something that truly can benefit every kid that participates. They keep the money that they sell the lemonade. We raise sponsorship to support the campaign or the program, and it's really a neat event that's now, we're getting requests to do it in other cities. So now we're having to figure out not only how we do it here in Houston, but how can we templatize this program and actually put it, in Austin or in San Antonio or in Dallas, and be able to replicate what we do in other cities here. So it's fun, it's exciting, but it's like anything else. Now success requires us to kind of take it to the next level and think about how do we spread this. And I think Michael Holdhouse's vision is to have a national Lemonade Day someday, where one day a year cities across the country have Lemonade Day to teach youth about entrepreneurship. So it's going to be exciting to see how that evolves over time.
All right, thank you very much, Steve Latham, here on the MikeMcGuff.com blog.
Thanks, Mike.
MikeMcGuff.com